What is good, everybody, and welcome to Weekday Wagers. My name is Mark Wallace. I am so glad and so happy and grateful that you're able to join us here today on this incredible Wednesday. Specifically, what makes a Wednesday so incredible? I'm going to tell you what, because in about 5 minutes, we all get to get educated and we get to find out what's flying on Robbie's radar. I can't wait for it as he breaks down the NFL weekend player props that he loves for this weekend. Look, great news. Our ladder challenge survived the redo. Can't wait. I'm rolling out that play at the end of the show. It'll be a short on this YouTube channel here at the Weekday Wagers. So make sure you get that as we take we've started with $10. We now have $20.40. That's what we're putting on tonight's play. I love it. And our Just a Stat Sports model play of the day cashed yet again. That thing just seems to be, look, I just tell you what it does and it goes. I probably should have taken a better look at that model. Well, first of all, in all fairness, yeah, I was on the SU Orange, and yes, I am an alum, an actual alum of Syracuse. That's where I got my master's degree from, my bachelor's and my master's. Not that I'm flexing. It's just got to make sure I acknowledge both of them. And I watched that game last night, and I'll be damned if these guys cannot hit a free throw. There are 3 players on the Syracuse Orange team that they shack attacked at the end of the game that Monmouth did to keep it close. They should have cleared 90 in this thing. But you know what? Robbie, he got us to the point. And if you know that song, once you get to the point, you got to roll with another winner. That's what you got to do. Speaking of winners, Rob, you like what I did there?
I did.
Not going to get too crazy. Not going to get canceled.
No. Let's not do
How
that
you doing
today.
this Wednesday, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing great. You know, we took Celebrini and Bedard for a point. Should have just took them both for a hat trick and paid our mortgages off after that. But what a hell of a night on the ice for those two.
Damn. And you know what's crazy is I know you had them last night just to get a point. And it's like these guys got pissed off at something because they just abused the opposition last night. And, you know, Bedard went crazy. He was my light the lamp selection, so I was glad to see that. Little stat on those light the lamp. Do you know this? Well, I'll just tell you right now. 3 of the 5 of those light the lamp actually hit a goal.
Yeah,
they registered a goal. Guess how many registered a point?
All of them.
All but 1. 4. We got 4. So, look, do with that information what you will. If you like them to score a goal, absolutely play the goal scoring. If you want to do something fun, like what Rob does with those point parlays and do that, I'm telling you, these guys are selected for a reason. I don't choose them. Full disclosure, I do not choose them. Those are all model selected. They're the highest ranked. So you are getting you're getting incredible selections that are all data-based and data-backed. So I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But with that, look at the chat's already popping. Hey, look, if you could do us a huge favor, look at the line number. Wow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just hit that like button, just super quick. I am telling you, we talk about this all the time, DG, myself, and Rob, about the growth of this channel. And in just a short period of time, the growth that we have seen, it's all because of you guys. And first of all, thank you for that support. We are so grateful. But 2, let's not slow down. You got a job to do. Smash that like button. Let's go. And then jump in the comments, because that's where the real magic takes place. We got the best chat in the crew in the business for a reason. I was going to say the best chat crew, but it's redundant. We have the best chat in the business. Joe says, yeah, we're here for Robbie's radar. No, Joe, you're not going to trap me.
That would explain my face just then.
Yeah.
Every time I see it.
You know what's going on. You're not going to trap me like that. Come on now. Hey, before we get into that, and I can't wait for Robbie's radar. We have a huge basketball game tonight taking place in Connecticut. And I know that maybe basketball is not, your number one forte where you found your niche. But I know for me, I am so grateful that at the beginning of the season, we're getting some pretty big. We had Duke in Kansas last night. We've got Arizona and UConn tonight. I mean, we got some blue blood pedigree programs, if I can get that all out in one sentence, going head to head early in the season. These teams aren't playing later in the year, or worse, even in the tournament. They're getting these games in early. What's your take on that? And any thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, for the teams, I think you would rather get these in late to get you ready for some tournament play, but play what's on the schedule, right? And for this game, I know you're going to dive in probably more to the X's and O's and all of that, but I'm going to keep it simple for you. Arizona beat the reigning defending national champion Florida Gators in the first game of the year. Now, granted, Florida was hungover. They were still feeling themselves. They needed to get humbled. So thank you, Arizona, for doing that. UConn could not accomplish that feat. On our reign to dominance in that NCAA tournament, we squashed Dan Hurley, all 5'2" of them, and his angry self in the UConn Huskies in that tournament. So if you're going to give me Arizona plus 6.5 to beat a team that couldn't beat the team that they beat, yeah, give me all the Arizona tonight.
So does it worry you? Because you know what, you bring up a great point, right? It's not like Arizona is not tested yet this season. They just beat UCLA, although it was technically a neutral site. They played in the LA arena, not at UCLA's pavilion. So it was a neutral site, but they beat UCLA. That was 3 nights ago. Now they get on a plane, they fly over to the East Coast to take on Connecticut. They beat Florida to start the season. So it's not like they haven't already had a taste of what these big games feel like. Playing in UConn, though, is a different beast, man. It is. It is a small arena. And no, Soupy can't get you tickets. But it's a small, intimate setting that gets absolutely crazy, which plays into UConn's strength, right? I think they're returning a ton of talent. They've got the height advantage in this game. Arizona comes in with a core of freshmen who have been playing at a very high level to start. Is that sustainable in your eyes?
No, I mean, which of course, what I was saying was a lot of just joking around. Like, please don't go bet because of what I just gave you. Because as Mark told you, I'm not the college basketball analysis, and what he just said makes a lot of ton of sense. UConn is a horrible place to play just for the opposing team. Got Arizona traveling, but I do like the freshman aspect of it because I think you're going to get a lot out of it. I know they're returning a lot at UConn, but I don't mind having a bunch of freshmen going in and trying to prove themselves in this game.
Does it? Yeah, because for me, I look at this, I'm like, okay, you got that. You've got a heavy freshman rotation, 4 freshmen in that rotation that you're really relying on and leaning into heavily to get the bulk of your scoring. And wow, they've played some big games, but they've been at neutral sites for the most part. Yeah. This is their first real introduction into NCAA Division I madhouse basketball. Storrs, Connecticut can be just as crazy as the Cameron crazies at Duke. And Duke's fandom, Duke's fans, they honestly feel like they're the sixth man, as they have a role to play in that game, and they live up to that very, very well. So real quick, just to do a real quick model breakdown for you. So if you guys are interested in this game, yes, I do have a play on this game up on juststatsports.com. I can tell you that I like UConn tonight. On the money line, it's minus 300, which is a crazy thing to do. The model has them winning this game straight up 70% of the time. Against the spread, the model also has UConn winning in 58%. It's slightly better than 50-50, okay, but I like it there. What we saw last night, and this is probably the most interesting one for me, is looking at this total of 155.5. Arizona has gotten out and shown that they can run with the big boys. I think the model has this one projected to 151, between 151 and 152. I think we're going to see tonight what we saw last night, Duke versus Kansas. You got two heavyweights that are not going to be in it to throw a lot of fast punches. They're going to be landing haymakers left and right. And this is going to be a slow, methodical process. I kind of lean to the under here, especially in a crazy environment at UConn.
I'd love to watch this game with EC. That guy always talked about Arizona. That's his team, man. I'd love to watch this game with EC. That would be a fun treat.
Well, listen, crazier things have happened. We had Sia bounce into the chat on Monday, which shocked both DG and I. Yeah, so
of course, when you guys are on, I marked out in the chat because Sia showed up. I love that guy.
And then you get, so if EC, hey, you're listening, call us.
Go Wild, in the chat. Go Wildcats. I got your back,
right.
EC. I got your back.
That's
tonight.
right. Let's see. We have, and listen, we've been going for, wow. We're already late.
Minutes.
We're already late. Because it's that time. It's Wednesday. And Wednesdays here at Weekday Wagers only mean one thing. Only mean one thing. Boo! And it worked. Look at that. Like we know what we're doing. You got Jameson Williams. First of all, there's nothing wrong with the guy whose name is Jameson. But that's for different reasons. Taking on the New York Giants. Why do we like Mr. Williams with that? Look at that visor.
Yeah, man. I mean, Sunday night was a slugfest, right? It did not look good offensively, but even as bad as they played, talking about Detroit, Jameson still got his. He still covered all of his props, and a lot of that's credit to Dan Campbell for not just sending him on fades. Williams is going over the middle a lot more, doing a lot more crossing routes. Since Dan Campbell's taken over, he has 273 receiving yards. His average longest reception is 39.3, and his targets have gone from 2.42 to 4.6 targets a game. Now this weekend, he's getting the New York Giants, which, man, they're beat up, but they're competitive. They were competitive against Green Bay. They've been competitive in a lot of games they've been in, but they're still allowing 165 receiving yards a game. It's good for 12th in the NFL. I think Detroit comes out a little pissed off, a little bit, trying to get themselves back to where they wanted to be. And I think Jameson has himself a huge day this Sunday.
Yeah, he is so integral to how Detroit functions offensively. I think that when Williams is having and hitting all his lines, going over his lines, Detroit seems to be hitting on all cylinders anyway, because now you're having to play the wide receivers and play the air game, which opens up obviously the running game for Gibbs and
Montgomery.
That's right. Yep. So I love this look on him.
Yeah, I was going to say too, man zone, it really doesn't matter. New York is in 54.8% zone, 39.2% man, but neither one of those really matter when it comes to Williams because of how fast he is. So I'm not too worried about man or zone in this game for Williams.
Anytime that we get DG firing out nuggets, it's always a good thing. He's averaged 20.3 PPR points per game since the Lions' Week 8 bye. That's something to consider. And he also brings up that he's recorded 4 receptions on 7 targets for 88 yards and a touchdown in that loss. But he also had 1 rush for 9 yards, which is a little different way for the Lions to be using him.
Yeah. Yeah, he had himself a hell of a day. I think I even almost played his rushing prop. I think you could have took half a rush for like plus money before that game. So I think he has a good game this weekend. Like I said, the Giants have still at least been competitive. They played Green Bay really tight this weekend. So I'm hoping that the game script doesn't go AWOL and he sets a lot of the second half. But anything can happen in the NFL.
Well, listen, speaking of guys with incredible visors,
Oh,
look at, dude, that's just
nasty.
sick. That is sick. You got
absolutely
JSN, who's taking on the Tennessee Titans. I'm kind of interested in this one because this is typically a different angle than I would take for a team who's playing the Tennessee Titans. Why do you like a receiver in this game?
A lot of it has to do with what happened on Sunday. Sam Darnold became the old Sam Darnold through 4 interceptions, right? JSN, though, has gone under 80 yards one time this season. He got 79 against the Arizona Cardinals in that ugly Thursday night game earlier in the year. I think this is more to do with Sam Darnold getting his confidence back. I think they're going to look to throw the ball. You're going to hear a lot about, well, we're going to get Kenneth Walker the ball more. No, they're not. Kenneth Walker's injury prone. They have a huge schedule. Their schedule gets rough down the stretch. They're not going to give Kenneth Walker the ball more. I don't care what their coach says. And I think this is going to line up perfectly for JSN. The Titans, they look good on defense because the wide receiver ones they faced are not that good. You've got Nico Collins, who's burned them last week for 90 yards and a touchdown. They played Puka and Devontae, got burnt by them. And the only other one was Marvin Harrison Jr., and you can't even really call him a top-tier talent because he hasn't earned that right yet. So a lot of their competition hasn't been that great. I just think, man, JSN is going to go off this weekend. His line is at 88.5, which for him feels low. It opened up at Hard Rock at 88.5. I think he's going to get a touchdown. I think his longest reception play is there. He's averaging 114.6 receiving yards per game, and he has an average longest reception of 40.1. So, I mean, he's absolutely killing it. And the slate sucks this weekend. Full disclosure, as you like to say, I'm going to take it from you. It is a terrible slate. It is a terrible slate. I looked at it over and over last night. These are the 4 guys that I thought have the best boom potential this weekend.
Okay. And, as DG points out, he's got 288 receiving yards over expected on his downfield throws, which is more than double of everybody in the league except for 2 players, and that's George Pickens and Kayshon Boutte.
Booty. He don't like to be called. He don't like to be called Boutte. He says his name is Booty. Well, that's coming from him, not me. I'm just the messenger.
Listen, I'll say Boutte how I want to say Boutte.
As you should.
All right, let's keep this moving. We are going with Devontae Smith. Oh, the Slim Reaper taking on your Cowboys. Oh, what is going on here? By the way, look at that Grim Reaper graphic. I love that.
I love it. Now, this has to do with Devontae's history against Dallas. This has to do with A.J. Brown got all the work the other night. And the thing is, when they go back and watch the Detroit tape, at least I hope they're watching that Detroit tape, he was open a ton. Hurts just didn't look his way, or he looked his way, and then he checked off, got happy feet, and ran around. I mean, Devontae Smith is one of the best wide receivers in the league. He's very underrated because of who he's in the lineup with. But Dallas has allowed 16 touchdowns to wide receivers this year. 8 of those came to the wide receiver 2. Wide receiver 2 is also averaging 56.7 receiving yards per game against Dallas. And if you dig into the history, looking at last year, Philly smoked Dallas. It was 41-7 and 34-6. The 34-6 game, A.J. Brown went nuclear. But in that 41-7 game, Devontae Smith went nuclear. 6 for 120 and 2 touchdowns with a 49-yard bomb. I think a lot of this has to do with the A.J. Brown narrative and the fact that Dallas cannot cover that speedy wide receiver. And that's what Devontae is. He can burn just damn near anybody in the league, and I think he's not going to have a problem burning Dallas this weekend. Yeah, they look good against the Raiders, but the Raiders' best players were their 2 tight ends, and one was running on one leg. So they should have looked good against the Raiders. So I think Devontae has himself a day, and I think this game should be an interesting game and a good game with everything going on around it right now.
I like it. I like it because you're also on a guy, same game, other side of the ball. Look at those dude, everybody's rocking visors. I got to put sunglasses on or something. Why did we like CeeDee Lamb?
Oh, man, I popped when I saw the images that DG came out with. But same concept. It's going to be everybody's talking about Pickens, right? And again, as they should, dude went nuclear, 144 yards and 2 tutties. But this is a rivalry game. And this is a game when you have a healthy Dak Prescott and a healthy CD Lamb. They connect a lot in this matchup. CD Lamb averages 123 receiving yards, 8.5 receptions, and an average longest 30.5 receptions against Philly. Now, this is when you got a healthy Dak Prescott and you got a healthy CD Lamb. That hasn't always been the case. So you kind of have to take a lot of the outliers out when you're looking at this. But in 6 games this season, when Lamb has played, he's averaging 92.83 receiving yards, 6.6 receptions, and he's cleared his longest reception of 25 plus in every game but one. That happened to be the game I bet him the other night. So thanks for that, CD. But again, this matchup seems like it's going to be a big game. A lot of narratives involved in it. Philly just come off the big win against Detroit. Dallas are feeling good about themselves. And last time these teams met, CD went 7 for 110 and a longest reception of 32 yards. So I think receiving yards, receptions, and his longest receiving yard is in play for this game.
Wow. I love it. And by the way, so does Scott Y, who says we looking possibly at a CD ladder, maybe?
Possibly. Maybe both of them in a ladder.
All right.
I think this is one of the best, taking my fandom out of it. I think this is one of the best games on the slate. KC and Indianapolis is the other one, but for player props in that game, it's hard to gauge. I think JT will get his. I will go and give you a spoiler. Tyler Warren's first quarter receiving yards is at 9.5 right now. He's done that in every game but 2 this season. KC has allowed that in every game but 2 this season. So do with that what you will.
I like it. I like it. Listen. And I know we didn't give out any like, hey, this is what I'm on for this guy this weekend, obviously, but you got to see and wait to pick that line movement. Where can people find? Because I know you're going to have player props up for the NFL. Where can people find those plays and tail you all the way to the pay window?
Oh, so easy. It's at justthestatsports.com. What is our promo code right now, Mark?
It's Data 100 is going to get you your first month for 50% off. That's literally, it's going to cost you $7.50 for the entire month. And I promise you, we will make you more than that in the first, I'll say it, the first day.
There you go.
I'll say it.
Yeah, I'm glad you did bring up the odds, though. I have not put these in because last week I bragged on Hard Rock. I said you came out with great lines early and they were really good. Sunday morning, I always like to check the guys on Robbie's radar and see what their lines are at, hoping that they're larger. They were better on Sunday morning. So I double dipped on a few of the Robbie's radar guys on Sunday. So I'm going to wait till maybe tonight, maybe even Friday to check on these props. It might burn you. I think getting some of these guys early is a good look, but I thought that last week too. So I'm just going to wait it out and be patient, check back maybe Thursday night or Friday morning and see where these guys are at.
That's a great point. Is that something that you wait? So you looked at them obviously last night, today, as we were getting prepping for the show, but is that something then you don't look at again until Saturday or Sunday and then be like, okay, I'm going to take it now? Or is that, I guess my fear would be, I know last week we saw them dip down from where we were at, but my fear would be, what if we see one starting to tick up? Do we jump on that and get it in early?
So what I've learned, and this has been just trial and error this season, is even if they go up or go at another book, depending on your juice level, depending on how much juice you want to drink, you still may be able to get the number I gave out on this show around minus 130.
Okay.
Now, I won't go any higher than minus 150, but I'll go that minus 130, minus 145 range just so I can buy me some points. I will do that. And I've noticed BetMGM and DraftKings, they're two of the better ones when it comes to the player props. Sometimes FanDuel, but I did like last week when you're betting these players early, Josh Jacobs, for example, go with a book that has the insurance. If they get hurt in the first quarter, first half, and you have insurance, take it. Because a lot of these guys have been getting hurt that I've been getting out, and after I give them out. So I would go with the books that offer the insurance. So when you're looking at maybe FanDuel, you might wait till Sunday morning before you decide to play these guys to make sure they're actually going to go.
That has been kind of a very interesting little tidbit for the season. The radar kiss of death, if you will.
Yeah, I think we're going to start calling it Robbie's IR at this point because they keep getting hurt every week. It's crazy.
That's the one. And instead of the radar thing, we'll just have an ambulance.
That's it.
Everybody riding in the ambulance. Hey, listen, I know I have my reasons for talking so highly about Just a Stat Sports, but when you got guys like Derek Napoli who said, hey, listen, first day he started making money, Taj jumped in, look, he just joined us as a college basketball and NBA capper. He's been killing it lately. He's been doing a fantastic job. So happy with him. But even Miss Kimberly is like facts. And Derek said, hey, yeah, I'll say it. First day. Yeah. Get over there. Try it. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong.
No doubt.
You know what we do have? We always have time for our good friend.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors, original, hot, and no salt, that's gonna turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
I'll tell you what. It's not a Bassett's Blend lock, but I am all over the Yukon Huskies tonight, -6.5 at -110. This is yet another heavyweight matchup tonight. Back-to-back heavyweight matchups, right? We had Kansas and Duke last night, Arizona and Yukon going at it tonight. But this one is a little bit different because it's not being played in a neutral site. We kind of said that earlier. They're playing this one at Yukon inside Gamble Pavilion, one of the most crazy and intimidating home venues in NCAA anywhere. This is nuts. UConn's coming off a tight win over BYU, where they played at TD Garden over in Boston. They led by as many as 20, and yes, BYU came back. They closed the gap, and it turned into a very close basketball game, a nail-biter. Arizona just played UCLA in Intuit Dome. Again, very close game. They end up winning. I just don't think that with the cross-country travel, the youth that is with Arizona right now, that they're going to have the horsepower and the horses to run with this UConn team. UConn is going to consistently get great looks on the inside, on the interior. They're going to dominate the boards, limiting second chance points. I just see this going in favor of the Huskies, especially at home. Rob, what do you got?
There. Again, EC, he said it, not me, so don't be mad at me. I'm going to go get to the point part 2. We're going to look at 2 guys that I've loved betting on this season because they won me a lot of money. Going with the Geek and the German Gretzky. So Morgan Geeky, his odds have come down a little bit. You know, you go 2 games without a point, so the books thinks he automatically sucks now. He does not suck, and he has a great matchup tonight. The last time the Ducks and the Bruins played each other, that game was 7-5. Geeky had 2 goals in that game. He has a goal in 3 straight against Anaheim now, and he has 5 goals and 4 assists in his last 10 games. I think this is a good spot to back the Geek tonight. And then what is there to say? Going to my hockey GOAT because it got this number to +100, and we just need him for a point. He has a goal in 4 straight games against Washington with 7 goals in his last 8 overall against them. He also has 7 assists on that run. That helps. Assists, goal. Who cares? Just give me a point. And I think Edmonton might be a little bit pissed off because they got absolutely embarrassed in Buffalo the other night. One of the 2 guys who I think are going to be pissed off the most is the angry German. I like Draisaitl. I like Geeky. I like both for a point at +111. Also, Joe, I know you can't bet this, so I would take Jack Roslovic. He's on Leon Draisaitl's line. I would take him for a point. If you want to get crazy, take him for a goal. But his point is -120. His goal is +275. Since being on that line with Draisaitl, he's been absolutely killing it. He has 2, 4, 6 goals in his last 10 games and a crap ton of points. So that's for you, Joe.
You know, I don't think people realize how much and how grateful we are for the chat that we have. And when you have, and listen, I'll say it, saloon royalty, if you will, the first one to ever get in the saloon, now getting his own catered to plays so he can participate. Who else is doing that for you?
I didn't even see his chat either. I had that covered up trying to read my notes. I didn't even see his chat. It says, I bet Robbie has a solo play for me. Never lets me down. I didn't even see that, Joe. I just thought of you and I put that play in and I thought that was a good number to take Roslovic.
That's what happens when you're royalty, Joe. It's just people just do. That's all.
Yeah.
And speaking of things that do. Wow. Well, all right. So full disclosure. Do not judge me on the spelling of this graphic. This may or may not have been done right up into this. This actually, yeah, full disclosure. This is the technical issue we were having before, and it was a race to get this to this location. So, yes, I know that Thompson does not Tomopson, whatever. We have Taj Tomopson at plus 115. Actually, Thompson plays for the Buffalo Sabres. Leon Draisaitl, I hope that one's spelled right, at plus 135. David the Pasta Pasternak at plus 135. Chris Kreider at plus 165. And Cutter Goldchain at plus 185, because I'm not saying that last name. Rob, who do we like on this and why?
It's Gauthier and it's Tage Thompson. And I'm going with Tage Thompson because guess what? When he plays Calgary, I hate saying that name. Calgary, when he plays them, I swear to God, I'm not going to put them on any more of these. When he plays them, he does nothing but scores goals. He has 5 goals in his last 5 games against the Flames. There you go. Not going to call him by their state name. Flames. He has 6 goals in his last 8. I love Tage Thompson to light the lamp again tonight at plus 125.
Yeah, look, I love Thompson because there are certain teams, in Calgary is one of them, that he absolutely shows up for, especially at home. And to Buffalo's credit, look, I think Buffalo wins this game, and they win it because they're going to have a lot of scoring. They surprised the hell out of Detroit and came back on Saturday and won that game 5-4. They were down 4-1, end up winning 5-4. They just blew the doors off of Edmonton 5-1. So do you think I'm taking Taj? Mr. Thompson? No, I'm not. Give me Cutter Goldchain. Listen, the cut is going to score the puck. Anaheim is on a roll, and Anaheim is playing outside of their minds right now. They're facing a Boston Bruins team who, despite winning their last one, just has not shown anything that they can do on the road. I think they're taking on an Anaheim team. Look, Anaheim is scoring over 4 goals a game on average for a reason. These guys can score the puck. Give me Goldchain.
Look, I have, and this is not an exaggeration, I have 9 plays on that Boston-Anaheim game. 9.
Do you really?
I do. And well, one, it's a short slate. If it was a bigger slate, probably definitely wouldn't have it. But their last game, 7-5, man. I mean, both of these teams can score. Swayman's gotten better.
Yeah.
Dostal's been pretty good, but there's something about this game where a lot of the guys in this matchup that I took tonight have great history as well. I mean, you're talking about consecutive games with goals. You're talking about more goals than games played. It's pretty crazy. So I expect it to be a Pavel Zacha goal, unassisted, 1-0. Probably Boston wins at that point.
So I mean, you know what? One of the things that we have rolled out, it's new on the site, is and no, Joe, I am not drunk. I'm having a good time. Stop it. As Miss Kimberly said. Where did I just see it? Yeah, please.
That got me.
Stop. One of the things that we have been putting out on the site in one of the data sheet columns is the first period, the NHL first period report card. And it rates every single game from an A all the way down to an F. And if you knew me in high school, first of all, you're an old bastard. But 2, you know that I really functioned in D's and F's. So that's neither here nor there. I really saw an A. The point being, tonight, the Anaheim-Boston game is an A-rated game to go over the first period 1.5. And I think, look, both these teams can score goals. Both of them have been very, very leaky. So if you're looking to play a first period angle on that game, I'm on the Ducks to win.
No, yeah, I was being sarcastic by saying I have 9 plays and it'll probably end 1-0 Boston just because of everything I have riding on this game. So
listen, it better not be 1-0.
I hope to God not.
If it is
down bad tonight.
If it is, Cutter better score that one. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. You know what? That's fine, and I hope Leo Carlson assists him on that one. That at least give me a little bit of green tonight.
Actually, yes. For those of you who are brand new to watching Robbie and I function in the world of hockey, it is so interesting because Rob will have plays on games and we don't talk about it. We don't do anything. And they, for whatever reason, they are very symbiotic and they just kind of fall in line with each other. Just Stat Sports, the play of the day, has one leg of a plus 125 2-leg parlay. The play of the day has Leo Carlson to get a point. You're going to have to go to the site, click the free play of the day to get the second leg. So there is that. So I like where your head's at.
Yeah, I think it should be a fun game. I'm actually glad it's in Anaheim and I can have a nightcap after I watch Survivor tonight.
I'm glad you brought that up because we did have some comments. Derek wants to know if we can we just get Sophie voted off tonight?
Which one, Derek? Which one are you talking about? Because there's one I like, and then there's one that I don't know. She's all right, but you gotta tell me, is it Soph or is it Sophie B? Is it the challenge beast or is it the assassin who's in like every group? I gotta know which one.
All right. So while we're waiting to find out here, we do have some questions on this. Just got off work, Mark. I'm taking Aj Mitchell over 12 points again. He cashed for us last time. Yes, he did. You know what? And D. Johnson, I'm so glad you brought that up because I actually that night, as right before I went to bed, I don't know why. I'm like, I gotta see because I felt horrible because both DG and I were like, yeah, but he's listed this game today. It's a groin injury. I'm not sure he's going to get enough time. Dude comes out and sailed over this. I think he finished with 18. So, yeah, listen, if that's your gut play, go with your gut because it's working.
DG and Derek both had plays in that Magic and Golden State game that hit yesterday. My Magic got the win. Jalen Sugg got 13 points, and I saw Desmond Bane hit his rebounds and assists. So good call on that too, guys.
I like that one as well. And TJ says Boston Bruins power play goal at plus 100 against the Ducks tonight. Great value at plus money.
I agree.
Those have been interesting, right? The power play goal. I mean, targeting them has been interesting, I should say.
Yeah. And then Derek also said he likes the challenge beast, Sophie. I like her too, but I don't mind either one of them. But being completely honest, I think the other Sophie has the best chance of winning, if you ask me. She has that advantage nobody knows about. And I think she's got herself in good with two of the other players that are really clicking right now. So don't be surprised if she makes it to the end and somehow wins. That would be my sleeper pick right now, is the other Sophie.
I don't even know what to do with this right now. I'm just going to leave this here because have we ever talked Dancing with the Stars?
DG, I think, mentioned it last week. He was watching it with his wife, I believe. Thank God my wife just likes to read naughty novels and be left alone, so I don't have to watch that junk.
Wow. Oh my God, we're already at 40 minutes. There is so much to unpack on both sides of that. I was like, oh, this is going to be a rabbit hole that we're going to, no, wait, I have so many questions. Right. As Kim just said, seriously? What the hell are we talking about? Listen, I can't believe it.
Is that Steve Irwin's son? Because if it is, I hope he wins it too. I don't know I don't ever watch it, but I love Steve Irwin. So if that's his son, I hope he wins it too.
And I know we talked about this yesterday, and Miss Kim brings it up. James Franklin already dressed in Vodtech colors behind his desk. Is he wearing a turkey suit? Is that what he's doing? Is he dressed fully in turkey feathers?
Is that what a hokey is?
Because that reporting sounds a little hokey to me.
Ooh.
See, dude, I'm full of them all day long. This is why my kids don't call me. I'm just kidding. They do. They're very.
TJ, my wife doesn't watch, and honestly, I even told her about my comment last week, and I said basically, Sarah, if you're getting jealous of me looking at a woman who hasn't shaved her legs in like 2 weeks and hasn't showered in 2 weeks, then that says more about you than me.
It says that I have a fetish that I haven't told you about, but
definitely not. I just think if a chick can pull off not shaving or showering for 2 weeks, she's got to look pretty decent without, with stuff added.
You good?
Oh no, I could kick Sarah's Navi Noddle boyfriend's asses too. Any of those guys in those books, I'd love to fight every one of them. So she has her thing. I got mine. We're good. I promise.
This is insane. Oh God. Yes. What a show, Joe. I agree. I look, 95% of the time, I'm the one to blame. I feel like I walked into something here, was totally caught off guard, and now I don't know what the hell to do with it. My goodness.
I probably should stop before I get us canceled, TJ.
This is great. Listen, besides envisioning all those naughty novel boyfriends that you're going to get the hell out of, tonight's small slate, what are we watching?
Boston and Anaheim. That's my big game. And the Edmonton game. I really like watching Draisaitl. I have pretty decent chunk on him and Rosovic to get a point. So really need that to happen as well.
Okay. All right. Fair. Yeah, look, I'm going to be all over the Arizona-UConn game. There are 3 hockey games. There's only 4 hockey games scheduled tonight. There's 3 of them that will all have my interest. The Capitals game with Edmonton. I'm watching that for very specific reasons that if you are following the ladder challenge may come to light, especially in the first period. I'm watching that Sabres game because I just think that I'm really interested to see what the Sabres can do and if UPL can get back on track and kind of turn things around for himself this season. And obviously the Ducks, because even if I didn't want to watch the Ducks, I got to know why my phone is blowing up at 11:30 midnight from DG sending me quack text messages. So there's that. Other than that, listen, I know you and DG will be here talking all things Survivor. Oh, Joe brings up a great question. When is Ladder Challenge coming out? The Ladder Challenge is coming out. I am cutting that video and putting it together. It will be out by 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Weekday Wagers. And tomorrow at 2:00 Eastern Time, right here at Weekday Wagers, it's going to be Robbie and DG talking all things Survivor. And are we hoping that it's Sophie B or Soph that gets booted?
I honestly, if I had to put money on, I think Jawan goes home tonight. So I don't think either Sophie goes home tonight. I think it's Jawan.
So then everybody's just going to be pissed off because Sophie's still here.
Yep. Both of them.
All right. So with that, listen, thank you all for hanging out with us and it's already 45 minutes, making this 45 minutes fly by for us. We have so much fun doing this. And I'm going to have some, I've got some questions for Rob after the show anyway, but for Rob, myself, listen, go out, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Be kind to one another. Let's cash these tickets. We'll see you right here tomorrow. Take care.